One. Hi guys, viewers.
Oh,
Whoa.
we're off to a great start.
Oh, that was a. Oh, there we go. Okay, my thingy wasn't in all the way to keep my chair from leaning back, so that's fun. Welcome back to Phone a Friend News. I'm one of your ambassadors of gaming, Chris.
I'm Michael. I'm also an ambassador. He gets mad when I don't say that.
I guess he doesn't really deserve to be an ambassador, but uh we have some fun stuff. PS4. They have their for all of you people that have been gaming since like the PS2 days. So a lot of people like from my generation, 90s kids, um, and probably some 80s kids, depending on how
hmm
old they were gamers. Um, Basically, Sony Computer Entertainment, which was a developer of games, a kind of like a first party developer of games, merged with another company and became what now?
Sony Interactive Entertainment. And from what I understand, it was kind of like it was like a headquarter kind of thing. Like, they did a lot of different shit there. They kind of like oversee like games and development, and then they oversaw like hardware development, things like that. So they just did like a bunch of like random shit, from what I understand. But yeah, they changed it now. They merged it with Sony Network Entertainment into Sony Interactive Entertainment, and the reason they did that is because they have a lot of different stuff going on now. They have PlayStation Music, they have PlayStation Video, they have their own TV series that they're running on
They
PSN.
do
Yeah, it's called Powers. It's based off of a comic book. Like, Sony actually produced like their own TV show. It's pretty.
books shows about comic book characters never sell good.
I mean, it's free. At
It
least
was a,
the.
it was a joke.
Yeah, I know.
The Flash is the most watched
The
show
Flash,
on CW.
Arrow. Yes, I understand, but
Yeah, that was a joke.
it's limited to PlayStation owners. So, but it was free if you have PlayStation Plus. The first season. I don't know if the second season will going forward, but they have that. They have PlayStation View, which is the TV streaming service, which I'm still not on board with. It's like you. It's kind of like Netflix, but you pick out like the channels you want to buy instead of buying like a whole channel package. I don't really get
And
it.
you have to be okay. And you have to be okay with some days randomly, once or twice a month, just not being able to get on.
Possibly.
No, not possibly. That's what happens.
Um, yeah, actually, PSN went down today. No joke.
There we go. All right, I have a PS4, and I'm
But
not
you're an
saying it doesn't have
Xbox
a good
guy.
lineup of games. Xbox guy. And one of my biggest pet peeves is that PlayStation Network goes down so much. Xbox
Yeah,
Live goes down maybe once or twice a year.
yeah, for extended periods. I mean, it gets hiccups every now and again. But
Drives me absolutely
it
nuts.
was
And then on
only
top of that,
down.
it takes me forever to find something in the menus too. The menu system is
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, the PS4 menu system sucks.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so the reason why they combined these together was to just make it easier for themselves to have everybody interact and talk with each other and see what's going on over here, what's going on over there. And the reason they kept it in the U.S. instead of in Japan is because, from what they said, is how Sony handles digital content already started here, and the systems provide PlayStation services in the U.S., which is the main reason why they put the new entity there. So basically, a lot of the stuff they're doing is here, so it makes no sense to put it in Japan. Like, I don't even know if Japan has PlayStation View. They might not. I don't know.
I feel like also this is kind of like a preparation for what is next to come. Like
Sure.
we've been hearing rumors about PlayStation VR.
Well, it's
Um,
coming. It's
well,
supposed
no,
to be
no,
coming
I
this year.
know. I'm saying rumors about it, not rumors of its existence. We
Oh
know it
yeah.
exists.
Well, we know a lot about it. We just don't know when it's coming out. That's like
Yeah.
the only thing we don't know at this point.
A lot of times, when something new is released, a lot of companies will like clean up their act, and I'm not saying
Hmm.
like add in a bad way. I mean like Uh, I remember when iCloud was being released, like a whole bunch of Apple stuff changed, company names changed, things changed. Um, and I think PlayStation is kind of like gearing toward their not their next generation. I'm not talking about consoles. I'm talking about just their next generation of how they're going to design their games.
Yeah, that and
That's just
VR.
me.
Yeah, they are getting ready for the VR because VR is getting close.
Yeah.
So hopefully this summer that would be nice.
I'm sure Interactive tested well with group testing,
Oh, I'm
whatever
sure.
it's called, polls. That's what it
Yeah,
was. I'm sure they pulled it.
yeah. I mean, they got plus like they the abbreviations and shit. Sony just had shit everywhere, so it was easier for them to just not put it under one name. Like, there's another one that's called Europe. Sony Computer Entertainment Europe is SCEE, and it's like, all right, like they're not even fucking with computer that one. Like, Sony Computer Entertainment in Europe is still saying Sony Computer Entertainment Europe. They didn't change the name of that. I don't know why, but that's what they did.
Well, congratulations to them. Speaking of, while we're on topic of PS4, the game on PS4 and PC, The Witness. It's like a kind of really fun and addicting puzzle game. Turns out the creator isn't happy, and I wouldn't be happy either, just because he's peeved that the PC version has been pirated, and it's not just a few. There are more pirated versions of the game in circulation than sold copies on PC.
Hmm. It's a number
And
one on, in his own words, it's number one on a certain torrent site for most downloaded at the moment,
yeah,
and that
I
has
mean,
to do with the price,
I mean,
partially.
the way I see it, unfortunately, when a game is popular and people have the ability to post a pirated version of it, they're gonna do it. It
Mm.
sucks. That's just kind of the way the world works.
Yeah, it is.
People are bad. People are nice.
It's true.
But basically, he kind of came out and said, "Okay, well, fine, have it your way, world." Like this is not. He didn't say that, but he said it would definitely affect his future projects.
Yeah, his exact words here were, um, he has two. There's two tweets here where they quoted him in this article, and it's the first one is, "It seems The Witness is the number one game on a certain popular torrent site. Unfortunately, this will not help us afford to make another game." And then the second tweet is, "I'm glad that a lot more people will be experiencing the game, but I also want to be able to make another comparable game next. Just saying." So, and part of the reason I think that people are doing this is because it is a $40 game, a $40 indie game. But like, people pirate $60 games, they pirate $5 games. Fuck, they pirate free games. They just pirate whatever the fuck they want. You're not gonna be able to stop them. And normally they come out with, in this article it explains that a lot of developers come out with like dummy versions and put them up on the torrent sites. They just put like a shit ton of like broken versions of the game or like incomplete versions of the game, and then people like download those and then eventually give up and are like, fuck it, I can't find the real game, I'm just gonna go buy it. You know what I mean? And
That's actually like a really good idea.
that's what a lot of developers do, because they can't afford for people not to buy their game. Like, that's how they make money, that's how they live. So,
Yeah.
and so he said he just didn't have the time to do that this time around, so he got kind of screwed.
Dude, you know what this makes me think of?
Hmm.
The ages of imperfect emulators.
Yeah.
Where a lot of games, they weren't capable of being emulated perfectly. I believe in Pokemon Fire Red, if you talk to on a pirated version, if you talk to like a hiker Pokemon trainer on the coast by wherever the dock for the SS Anna is, he says,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, by the way, if you like this game, buy it or die. Like,
It's funny.
yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot of developers do that. They put in shit so that if it gets pirated and the game will recognize it's not a bought copy, that like random shit will happen. A lot of games have I think it was Far Cry 3. Yeah, Far Cry 3, when it first came out, you needed a day one patch to play the game, Like, if you didn't have the day one patch, there was like it just fucked everything up. Like nothing worked.
Yeah.
Like they intentionally made the game fucking broken so that if you didn't have the day one patch, you couldn't play it. And I was like, good for them. I was like, fuck these guys. Because the developer, one of the developers, was getting tweets about it, and he's like, for all the people asking if your game's broken, it's because you didn't download the day one patch and you pirated it. So, yes, good job stealing my game. He wasn't happy about it, but he kind of gloated about it too at the same point. I was like, that was a really smart idea. It sucks though that we need to work on the anti-pirating shit. Because it is how these people live.
Yeah, but the thing is alright, I like to think of it as being a generation behind. Most games, as they're released, it's really hard to pirate them.
Mm.
And then as the generation gets a little older and more well understood, more well understood, it's easier to hack games. Even game developers, most of the time, don't develop games to the full capacity of the console it's used. Like if you see a game for Xbox 360 that was developed toward the beginning of its life and toward the end of its life almost looks like it's like running on Xbox One.
Yeah, it's a completely different.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing is that when the GameCube came out, bad example because that's a really bad selling console. But
I love the GameCube.
Nowadays, what Nintendo console isn't a bad selling console?
The Wii.
I'm sorry, Nintendo. Dude, the Wii just spit money, dude. The Wii may as well have been
when
a printer.
When the Wii came out, Nintendo was just like...
Exactly.
They're like, we can make the Wii U now and still sit on our ass and not worry about it.
I'm sorry, Nintendo. I do love you. I don't know why I said that.
Indeed love Nintendo.
But the point I'm trying to make is that games on the GameCube seemed really complex, and now they're like...
There's PS2 emulators now.
Yeah.
Like, it's still stealing.
Case in point. But the point I'm trying to make is
they are out there.
If you're good with a computer, or know someone good with a computer, eventually a game's going to get emulated.
Yeah.
It sucks until there's some sort of super cybersecurity. There's kind of no real way to avoid that.
Well, they're working on it now to get things embedded in the coding, so that way it can it can be proven whether or not you bought the game. Like I saw something in there that said digital rights management. I think DRM was the abbreviation. It sounds like it's like a coding thing, but
that'd be interesting to see. I'm not really sure how that would work. You'd have to incorporate the whole manner of being purchased, whether it's on a hard disk or being downloaded on the internet or being streamed, or not streamed, or being like bought digitally. Like that'd be really interesting to see, because then they'd most likely have to have a different patch of code.
Mm-hmm.
For each dedicated place the game can be downloaded or bought from. So that would definitely, and that sounds like a lot of work.
Unless they just sell it on their own website.
But I am not a cryptologist, and I also do not work in game coding. So that is not my cup of tea, but we're going to move on to our last article for today, which is Final Fantasy 15.
Tasty.
tasty.
I'm looking forward to this because I'm not I've played a couple Final Fantasy games and I'm not really like, I never got into them. I don't like turn-based combat for the most part.
Neither do I. It's so weird. I love Pokemon, but any game that isn't Pokemon, I do not like turn-based combat.
I get super impatient with Pokemon. I'm like, let's just go already. But this one, I just watched the trailer before we started recording this for 15. There's a new trailer. And they've incorporated some sneaking elements to the game, some stealth, which is weird because Final Fantasy's never been about that. It's always been gung-ho, as far as I know. And, well, I mean, strategy.
Splinter Cell meets Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the way they did the stealth because they did it in a way that was like there's it's all melee takedowns, but you can do the melee. You can like grapple to somebody, pull yourself to them, and then kill them with a melee, which is weird. It's a weird takedown, but I mean it's a takedown. Um,
Uh, One argument though that's going on is that supposedly from the pictures it doesn't look like Final Fantasy, or it looks different
yeah,
from Final Fantasy, and I'm going to address this right now. Games change.
they
It's
do.
how it is. Games change. They evolve. If a game just stayed the exact same, it would eventually die, or people would eventually get bored of it. And I say that even though there are games that still do on, they make subtle changes, but it's not
Mhm.
perfect. Same with other types of games, but yeah, and plus a game that with that fantasy aspect to it,
Mhm.
I feel can be has no or doesn't need an excuse to change things up. You know what I mean?
They've and every single Final Fantasy game is a different game. Like
Yeah,
each one plays differently. Each one has a different story arc, a different world. They're not all interconnected, at least from what I know. Um, so I mean, I like it. I like free flow combat, and that's what
you
this
want
one
to you want to
seems to
talk
have.
you want to talk about things that games that each one plays differently. Freaking Kingdom Hearts, dude.
Yeah,
Play
they don't know.
play Kingdom Hearts 2, play Chain of Memories, and then play Dream Drop Distance.
Oh
And
yeah,
you tell me how different the gameplay is.
it's true. Well, that the thing is Kingdom Hearts is made by the same people that make Final Fantasy, so every single one of them is made differently. Um, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably going to be very similar to 15 in the way it plays.
Yeah.
With like a combination of a whole bunch of different elements and stuff in that. Are we ever going to see sneaking in Kingdom Hearts? I doubt it. Why would you ever sneak in Kingdom Hearts? It doesn't make any sense. Now, granted, that might be what people are saying in Final Fantasy. They may be like, why the fuck would I ever sneak in Final Fantasy? That's stupid. Well, I'm watching this trailer and there's a lot of motherfuckers in there. There's a lot of people. I would sneak too. There's this
Well,
giant fucking robot that's like,
with consoles specifically, like now that consoles are capable of rendering way more,
mm-hmm.
I could definitely see in Kingdom Hearts maybe you encountering like a room that's completely just full as far as the eye can see with Heartless. And to the point where you're like, well, I can't fight all of those, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to sneak around them. Just little things like that, and that's good because change is good most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes change is good, sometimes it sucks, but I mean, like, I'm trying to think here. I had an example, I don't remember it now. But yeah, if they did that, oh, the PS2, Kingdom Hearts 2, there was a section where there was just like this fucking asinine amount of Heartless coming at you. Do you remember that? It's in
No,
Castle Oblivion. Not when you're actually in it, but like on the way up to Castle Oblivion, you get to this section, and there's literally just infinite amount. Oh, in the first game too.
wait, are you talking about Chain of Memories or Castle Oblivion? I mean, are you
Um,
talking about Chain of Memories or Kingdom Hearts 2? Because Chain of
Not
Memories
Castle
takes place in
Oblivion.
Castle
The other castle place. The castle
Hollow
in,
Bastion.
yeah, Hollow Bastion. That's the place I'm thinking about. That place. Yeah, there's a section there where you fight Infinite Heartless, and then the first game. You remember you go down. It's still like the first map. No, that is Kingdom Hearts 2. You go down. It's not Traverse Town.
Twilight Town.
Twilight Town. Yeah, I think that's it. You go down in this section in a canyon, and you're just fucking surrounded by Heartless. That in Kingdom Hearts 2 has fucking amazing cutscenes for a PS2. I've seen better cutscenes on a PS2 than I have on my PS4. So, but yeah, their complaints are these different. They're changing shit up.
As long as we're branching off from what we were talking about, I think one of my favorite subtleties in Kingdom Hearts was Riku wearing the blindfold.
Mm-hmm.
And not many people really understood what that was. Like, when Roxas existed, it was almost as if Sora didn't, like
Yeah,
his memories and stuff. So Riku wore this blindfold because that was the only way he could keep his memories of Sora because he couldn't. He would lose his memories, and
if
it's
you
really
looked at
weird.
him.
They ask him, yeah, he
Okay.
it's really weird. He asks like, why is he wearing that blindfold? He says because only his eyes can't lie.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like a really cool thing. But we're branching off. I
A
think
little
we're
bit too
done for
much.
today. Um, check out other videos down below or on our channel, videos that I've done or Mike has done, and we'll probably upload some more stuff in the future.
Tomorrow,
So
tomorrow I'm gonna upload a new video because Digimon Cyber Sleuth comes out tomorrow. I fucking waited for this so long. You don't even know how long I've waited for this.
um I uploaded a Call of Duty highlights when Awakening is released for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on Xbox One. I will probably upload some more Call of Duty highlights, especially like kind of like maybe even an analysis video talking about the new maps and
Mm-hmm.
what I think of them. Um,
Can you get all John Madden on it for me? Just take the maps and be like, look, see, if you go down this way and you turn here, this is going to be your best spot. That would be
you
awesome.
ever see the Family Guy bit about Brett Favre's wedding? Boom! You got your bride over here. Boom! Got your groom over here. It was so good. Okay, but
Um,
anyway, we're gonna get out of here.
question
Oh,
for you.
were you gonna say something?
Can we make a zombies video when that comes out? I think we should
Maybe
do
we
that.
will. Maybe we'll do a few zombies videos.
Ooh.
Hmm. All right. Well, out of the mouth of Michael. All right. Catch you later.
Goodbye.